Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel, The Stories of Akbar Birbal. The glory of the signet ring among those in Akbar's durbar. Birbal was the closest to Akbar. Birbal's wit and humor greatly impressed Akbar. He was very good at making Akbar laugh many times with his jokes. As usual, one day when he made Akbar laugh, Akbar looked at Birbal and said, "You are powerful because of your wit and sense of humor." He criticized that, "Lord, that is the difference between you and me. You have become a Chakravarti without realizing any achievements simply because you are the son of a Chakravarti. You are energetic, but the reason for my pride and name is talent alone. You are not born like you. I am the one who has earned it." Akbar was mildly angered for boasting. "What are you talking about?" Akbar asked. "That's right, no one can steal my brain from me, so my power and glory will last forever. But you only have power as long as you have your crown and signet ring. Grab them and you're out of cash. You have no value," said Birbal. Akbar frowned. "Prove what you say. If not, you will be sentenced to death." He snarled at Birbal. That night Birbal lay in bed thinking about how to overcome Akbar's challenge. Finally he had an idea. That night Birbal lay in bed thinking about how to overcome Akbar's challenge. Finally he had an idea. Next day Birbal came to Durbar as usual. Although Akbar spoke to Birbal as usual, he did not speak with his natural affection that day. Birbal realizes that what he said yesterday is affecting his mind. 2 weeks passed. Once a week, Akbar used to come alone in disguise at night. How is law and order in the country? He would do so to find out for himself whether the people were satisfied. While disguised, no one can recognize Akbar. Ashraf, the makeup artist, will dress up so beautifully. Ashraf and Birbal are friends. Whenever Akbar was given a new role, Ashraf consulted Birbal. Birbal would have guessed in advance that he would be donning this disguise this week. Birbal knows the tricks of how to make Akbar look good. He would teach them to Ashraf. One evening Ashraf came looking for Birbal. "Akbar will wear a disguise tonight. Shall we disguise him as a beggar?" asked Birbal. "Be generous. You have the power to make Chakraborty a beggar," continued Birbal. "You will dress him in a patched shirt and pajama. Make a tiara out of old, torn fabric. Give worn-out sandals. Put black lines on the face, neck, and arms, and make it look like you have a tanned skin and a tanned face," said. After listening carefully to everything Ashraf Birbal said, he left. "It seems that what I think will happen," smiled Birbal. Then he called his wife and asked her to dress up as a beggar. "You and your idea." Even though she spoke sarcastically, she busily tried to pretend to be a beggar for Birbal. "You and your idea." Even though she spoke sarcastically, she busily tried to pretend to be a beggar for Birbal. She chose old, patched clothes and wore them. After wearing old, worn-out sandals, she painted her face and neck to look like the original beggar. After she was satisfied that the role was a good fit, she sent him away. Leaving the house disguised as a beggar, Birbal walked straight towards the palace. He stood in a hidden place away from the palace gate and waited. After a while a beggar came out to open the palace gates. The guards worshipped him. Birbal thought that they have betrayed who the beggar really is and said, "Hey, a beggar? Shall I join you?" he asked. "Who are you?" Akbar asked Birbal, who was playing the role of a beggar, with authority in his voice. "I am a beggar like you," Akbar denied, saying, "I am not a beggar." "What's next, you emperor?" Birbal asked. "Yes, I am Akbar. I am in disguise," said Akbar. "Who are you talking to? If you are Akbar, where is your signet ring?" Birbal made a fuss. "I have a signet ring. But why should I show it to you?" asked Akbar. "Otherwise how can you believe what you say? I am a beggar like you." "I ask in that right," said Birbal. "When in doubt, look here," said Akbar, removing the signet ring from his finger. "Is it real or fake? Give it. Let's see." Birbal took the ring from Akbar as if testing it. "Ah, it is indeed the signet ring of Chakraborty. But how did you get this?" Birbal pretended to be surprised. "Fool, I say Akbar. Who else will have it but me?" When Akbar got angry, some policemen came there and the two had an argument. "Take him away. He is a thief." Birbal shouted as they came to catch Akbar. "You fools! I am the emperor," exclaimed Akbar. "He is lying. I am the emperor." They tried to arrest Akbar by showing Birbal's signet ring, saying, "Okay, okay. Leave him." They saluted Birbal and left. The next day, Birbal met Akbar alone in the palace and said, "Lord, did you lose your ring yesterday?" Akbar nodded his head yes. "Here's your ring." Birbal gave the ring to Akbar. Immediately, Akbar was furious to find out that it was Birbal who had quarreled with him and humiliated him last night while in disguise. At once Birbal said, "Lord, please don't be angry. It is not my intention to insult you. Remember the discussion we had a few days ago? I said that my pride and honor is due to my skill and that your authority will last only as long as you have the symbols of authority, the crown and the ring. You asked me to prove it. And that's what I proved yesterday. I have shown that you do not have the power of the signet ring you have." One moment he was furious, but the next moment Akbar's anger disappeared. Akbar laughed loudly and said, "Bogrip Pale, did you just wrap me up? Can we challenge and win with you? You are so smart." Praised by that, he presented Birbal with a silk bag full of gold coins. Thanks for watching this story. Ta-ta, bye bye, see you.